Good evening, welcome to 100% LCFC, Leicester Fan TV, whatever you want to call us, I don't know anymore. Anyway, my name's Phil, and this is our weekly Monday night Fanzone chit chat. Get your views in, get your comments in, let me know what you think about Leicester City, all the good things, all the bad things. There's no bad things at the moment, there's all just good things. We are playing Brighton at the weekend, and I want to know your views, your comments about which team should start maybe. The form that Jamie Vardy is, why James Maddison doesn't get any time for England, how good was Ben Chilwell for England, anything you want to talk about, you get your views in and you get your comments in. Let's see who's going to be the first person to get a comment in. Anything you want to talk about tonight. Obviously we've had a little international break. Baz Short is watching and he's getting his comments in there. Thank you, Baz. Mark King as well, welcome to the show. Yes, been international break. I don't know about you guys, I found it all a bit boring. It feels like we've had hundreds of international breaks since the start of this season and a bit fed up with them. So please, can we get back to Premier League football? Gray Richardson, good evening to you, Gray. Jake Palmer, good evening to you, Jake. How are you? I'm well, thank you. Ross Howard saying Maguire 80 million must mean that Ben Chilwell is worth 150 million. Are we ever going to let Harry Maguire forget this, Ross? I don't think we are we? Anyway, get your views in, get your comments in. How well did you think Ben Chilwell did play for England? I thought he had a very, very good game. And I'm going to be honest, if I look back to about 5-6 weeks ago, I had to sit down one lunchtime and make a YouTube video, which I did share on here on Facebook as well, saying, please, can everybody lay off Ben Chilwell? Do you remember that? I know it was there because I know there's a video there, so it proves the point. There was a lot of people having a go at Ben Chilwell. Luckily, I think everybody's changed their minds and going, no, I was never anti-Ben Chilwell. I was always one of his biggest fans. Carlos, get your views in on Ben Chilwell anyway. Let me know. You can admit it. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I got it wrong. Ben Chilwell, a good player, looking good. Mark Evans is watching. Good evening, Mark. How are you? Chris Watts is watching. Good evening, Chris. Carlos Gonzalez is saying, Chilwell is good. Maguire is not so good. Daz is watching. Hi, Daz. How are you? Jake Palmer says, break time is over for internationals. Thank goodness for that, Jake. Absolutely sick to the back teeth of it. Craig Jones says, finally, he's made it live. Craig, when you watch live, you get your comments read out. We can react to what you want to say. Listen, I come here with absolutely no script. I've got no idea what we're going to talk about. Rob McFarlane says he loves my shirt. What a shirt, what a classic. There's no number on the back, is there? I don't think. I love this shirt. This is one of my favourites. This was the first, well, not this one because I'm too fat and old, but this was the first shirt I ever had, except I had the blue version, which I actually don't have. I've got the red one. Got the red one now, got the white one. I need the blue one for the matching trio. These are about my favourite shirts, if I'm honest. Brett Coombs, good evening, Brett. Throw us some curveballs as ever, Brett. Jake Palmer says Soyuncu has done ever so well and Pereira both internationals. Yes, they did, Jake. Well spotted. Good comments in there. Gray Richardson is admitting about his Ben Chilwell issues. He says, Gray says, I've always said that Chilwell struggled to cross the ball, but he's managed to get a couple in the week. He has done. Craig Jones is saying he loves chili. I think we all do. Since you said, this is Ross Howard saying, since you said lay off Ben Chilwell, he's been outstanding. Ross, I'm going to take all the credit for it, mate. Absolutely, I agree with you. I think he must have watched my video. Do you think he did? Of course he didn't. They're too big. They haven't got time. Will Holloway, little brother Will, good evening to you. How are you? Get your views in, Will. Get your comments in. Let me know what you think to this week's game. Brett is saying lift the trophy. Brett, I'll do it later if you want. The trophy is just down there, as you can see. You can see there's the Premier League trophy just sat nicely in the corner. I can pick that up in a minute. Listen, I'm going to try and show you. We do this new tactics show. I've just been filming that with Sam. So we've been picking the team. That video will be released hopefully tomorrow when we finish editing it. So we've picked our teams. I think the team's starting to pick itself a little bit easy at the moment. Let me know your views on who you would have put in that team and let's know that. Brett's saying, let's play darts. Do you know what? I've thought about that. I thought about we could do some sort of darts game. I was thinking, could we have Forest and Derby logos up there and throw darts? But is that politically incorrect at the moment? Who knows? I don't know what's right. Gray Richardson says, me and tactics, yeah, not so good to be fair. Mark Atwood is saying, Lights the Top Fan is back. You're welcome with that. Ross says, let's have a good game of pool. You're all getting distracted on the thing. Good evening. Hello, Lee Geeson. How are you? And John Squires, good evening. Andy Medhurst. Good evening, Andy. Thanks for your comments as ever, Andy. Andy says, I watched the F1 instead of England because it was that boring. I've got to be honest. Listen, I'm a big England fan. I love watching England normally. I've just got a bit bored with it recently. I agree with you, Andy. I've got to be honest. I didn't watch it yesterday. I just couldn't be bothered. Especially, do you know what? I know Ben Chilwell was in the starting lineup, but when I saw Maddison was on the bench for a calf injury, I just didn't watch it. I've not even seen the goals. And that's being honest. But I'm a big England fan, but I was just a bit like, oh. And I've heard Gareth Southgate say, I think his comments in the press were he already knows his first 11 or 11 out of his squad already for next summer. And I'm like, how do you know that when there's the rest of the season to play? If people play rubbish, you can't know who's in your squad. It frustrates me that managers come out and say like that for England. Pick your squad next April when you've had a look at the season. If Jamie Vardy's the England top scorer this season, Gareth Southgate should be absolutely begging him in April to come and play for England just for the one tournament. Forget all this building. Just put the best striker in England in there, and that's Jamie Vardy at the moment. Gareth Buckley is saying, can't believe Maddison hasn't made a start. What does he have to do, Gareth? What do you think? Lee Sutton is watching. Good evening to you. And Dave Felstead, good evening. Chris Watts, how are you from across the pond? Which bit of the States are you watching from, Chris? Remind me that. Tom is watching. Tom, I'm sorry, Tom. I need to get the system sorted so I can get you on. Hope you're well, Tom. See you at the next match. Don't forget, I don't know if none of you know, but Don Cole, who is a big far-flung fox, one of the far-flung foxes, but he does post-match lives on 100% LCFC for you guys. Don lives in Myrtle Beach in the States, and Don is on his way over to Leicester for a couple of weeks. Don and his crew are coming. They'll be at the next 2 Leicester home matches, which is Everton and then Watford midweek. So definitely come and find us. Come and join us. Come and have a chat with the Far-Flung Fox, which is Don Cole. Come join us. I think we're going to go for pizzas after the Everton game at Peter's Pizzas. Plug. But come with us. Come join in. And come and say hello to Don. Let's get your views in here. Lee Sutton is saying, Bet Vardy's phone is red hot with Gareth ringing him. I would think he is. Dave Felstead says, can't be bothered with international football. I'd sooner have club football every day. Phil O'Neill says, good evening. Hello. Hi, Auntie Karen. Can we all say hello to Auntie Karen? Hello, Auntie Karen. Tony Snow says, come on, Phil. He's a yes man. The team's already picked himself. Talking about Gareth Southgate. And Craig Jones says, this is why I can't watch them at the minute. Vardy has to be in. To be fair, Harry Kane did score 3 the other night, so sort of proving what he is in there. Andy Medhurst saying Southgate is too loyal to certain players and that's why we won't win anything. Mark Gatwood is saying hi to Auntie Karen. Well, there we go in there. Craig Jones is saying hello, Auntie Kazza. Kazza, hello. I don't know if she's... Are you watching still, Auntie Karen? So, Lee Sutton, we've started a new thing. Hello to Auntie Karen. Is that you, Karen Kennel? Oh, please, lol. Hello, Auntie Karen, from everybody watching Leicester Fan TV tonight. We've got sidetracked. We're talking about you and not Leicester's team. Should we talk about Johnny Evans just a little bit and how good he has been? Been playing absolutely fantastic, I think, for Leicester. And I think he is the big reason why Sayuncu is looking so good. I actually think Johnny Evans, in hindsight, is probably the reason why Harry Maguire got sold for £80 million. Can you imagine that? Could it be Johnny Evans that has made Harry Maguire an £80 million player? Have we just upsold perhaps a £30-40 million player for £80 million because Johnny Evans just happened to make him look good? And ironically, we paid £3.5 million for Johnny Evans, ex-Man United, obviously ex-West Brom. Could that be the reason? And is he the reason why Sayuncu is looking so good? I've got no problem giving praise onto Sayuncu, but I think Johnny Evans is a big part of that. Get your views in. I want to know your comments on Johnny Evans. Here they come. Here's the first one. Gareth Buckley says, Evans looks pure quality. Jake Palmer says, and also Evans done well for internationals. He did. Craig Jones says, what a pairing they are. Wonderful defence. That's Johnny Evans and Kaglar Sionku. Karen Ken, or Auntie Karen, so I don't know why I'm calling you Auntie, you're probably 20 years younger than me, Karen. Auntie Karen, it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Auntie Karen. Gets even better. Back to the football. Have a good party, Auntie Karen. Steve Chapman says, same old, smash the group, then fail as always. Never watch them. Talking about England, obviously there. Carlos Gonzalez says, loves Evans. Gary Clark is watching. Good evening, Gary Clark. Get your views in. We're talking, Gary, about Johnny Evans, and did he help make Harry Maguire turn a £30 million defender into an £80 million defender? A few happy birthdays coming in for Auntie Karen from Craig Jones. Lee Sutton saying, thing is, Vardy plays as a lone striker for us. Can't see Southgate starting two up front, as his first choice lone striker is Harry Kane. He's never going to start Jamie Vardy. I'm just saying, if by April Jamie Vardy's a golden boot looker at 25 and Harry Kane's not having a great season, surely got to be worth doing something about it. Andy Medhurst says, 3 million for Evans. That's the same as buying an Aston Martin from Poundland. He really was a big bargain. Johnny Evans, no brainer that he's going to start, obviously, subject to injuries. And Dave Felstead saying Johnny Evans was an excellent buy for us. Right, now, we've talked about Johnny Evans. I'm going to talk about another player. Look, can we talk about this guy? Harvey Barnes. Look at that. Look, do you like my graphics now is picking up a Harvey Barnes. I've noticed that Harvey Barnes, I believe, has got the highest assists in the team at the moment. I think he's got 4 assists this season. I think I'm right in saying that. And he's obviously scored 1 goal. What do we think about Harvey Barnes at the moment? I think he's a very young, exciting, talented player for Leicester. But what do you guys think about Barnes? My worry for him slightly at the moment is not quite banging in enough goals when he gets the chances, because he does get some chances. And I'm just I'd like to see Harvey Barnes, for his own sake, get in, score. He had that header in the last game at home against Arsenal just before half time, right in front of where we sit in the family stand. Came in, had a nice chance to get his head on it, plenty of time to get his head on it, and he did get his head on it, and it spanned off his head like a 50p head, we used to call kids who did that. Went completely the wrong direction, and that was his big chance of the game, and he didn't get it. I just feel with Harvey Barnes, plenty more to come. Plenty more to come. I'm not being critical, but this guy has got to be knocking on the door, I reckon. Demarai Gray has got to be going, come on, Brendan, I'm doing it from the bench. I could score those goals. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the Barnes starting? I think Barnes will start, but Demarai Gray coming on as a sub. I think Demarai Gray should stay as a sub at the moment. I think he's done some great work from the bench. Really pleased with how well Demarai Gray's improved this season under Brendan Rodgers. But Harvey, get your views in. That's what I want to talk about. Harvey Barnes and Demarai Gray. Let's read some of these comments in there. Mark Gatwood says, Barnes has an awesome shot, power and strength. He gets the ball caught up in his feet sometimes. Dave Felstead says, Harvey Barnes has amazing potential if he keeps it up. Good comment, Sir Dave. Gareth Buckley says, Barnes is still young and his confidence grows, or as his confidence grows, I think he will score more goals for us. That's Gareth's views. Get your views in on Harvey Barnes and on Demarai Gray, who should start and who should be sub. Terry Fuller, good evening Terry, says Barnes, there's plenty more to come from him. I agree. Lee Sutton is saying Barnes is a future England regular in my opinion. Just talking of England regulars, Demarai Gray's got to feel like it's not quite happened for him. He's been in the under-21s for about 18 months now, hasn't he, Demarai Gray, and it not made that progression up to the first team like quite a lot of the other under-21s have done. So Barnes has got to be feeling, Demarai Gray's got to be feeling a little annoyed. This guy doesn't even get an England call-up. Just saying. Played pretty much every game of this season for us, every minute. And very well, but not Not got an England call-up at all. Steve Chapman says, Barnes is growing into his role. Maybe needs to be a bit more selfish. That's interesting. I mean, he has had 4 assists, which again shows he's not being selfish. Neil Birchenough saying, Barnes is not composed in front of goal yet, but he will learn with everyone. Carlos is getting his predictions in already. We'll come on to predictions later, Carlos, so keep doing that in there. Auntie Karen says, I think Harvey Barnes is first class. Thank you, birthday girl. Scott Downs says, he is there playing well, but he's not getting the rub of the green at the moment. It will come. Talking about Harvey Barnes, not quite getting the rub of the green. I think you're probably right there, Scott. He's getting in all the right positions, getting a lot of ball time, showing some great skills. But do you make your own luck? Or is there no such thing as luck? Just needs the rub of the green, says Scott. I think, would you agree with that? Keep your views coming in. Dave Philander says Damari Gray needs to just work on his finishing. Neil Birchenough saying Gray has never played well when starting a game, but is a key player from the bench. I agree with you, Neil. I think Damari Gray has been doing absolutely sterling work the last 3 or 4 games coming off the bench. That goal away at Palace, Damari Gray, massive point in it. The goal against Arsenal, the first goal, Damari Gray again involved in it, coming in, having impact, Damari Gray. Which sounds daft to say keep him on the bench because I want that chance. Now, against Arsenal, I was like, let's get Damari Gray on for that last 20, 30 minutes. He will make an impact. That's where we're starting to go. Mark Gatwood saying Gray has learned to pass. It's only took 3 seasons. Maybe he has got a footballing brain. I've accused him of not having that footballing brain. When he's had the choice to either shoot or pass, he's took the wrong choice. But Steve Chapman is saying Gray is knocking the door after 70 minutes. Yes, I agree with you, Steve. Terry Payne says Damari Gray has had an Uncle Brendan chat and at last someone has been straight talking with him. Get up or get out. That's what Terry thinks has happened. Uncle Brendan has had a nice little chat with him. It seems to be working, whatever it is. Ross Howard says his goal against Sheffield United was better than sex, lol. He's talking about Harvey Barnes' goal. Should we do, Ross, do you want to do that as a topic? Which is better? No, we're not going to do that as a topic. So do not put any comments in about what is better out of those 2 things. Sex or Leicester winning the Premier League. We all know what would come first, wouldn't it? I've misworded that. I'm digging myself a hole here. Let's get back to your comments. Andrew Medhurst says, Barnes and Gray, what a dilemma to have. Absolutely. Both players doing well. Gray looks fantastic coming off the bench, says Gareth Buckley. Thanks, Gareth, for those views and comments. Brad Hunt saying, his boy Mason is watching again. Can he have a quick hello to make his day? Of course you can. Hi, Mason. Thanks for watching. How old is your boy Mason? And is he a Leicester fan? I want him to sing out a Leicester song. Get him to do some Leicester chants. Unless he's 18 or 19, in which he should know them all by now. Paul Spilling says, Harvey Barnes needs to carry on with how he's playing. He's like a full wine. He's getting better with age. Thank you, Paul, for that. Joanna Astley, hi Joanna, hope you're well, says, keep Gray as a sub. He's good to utilise with assets. Still not a reliable goal scorer to have him in the start in front of Perez. So Joanna's still saying Damari Gray as a sub. I'm with you on that, Joanna. I definitely think I would keep Damari Gray on the bench. But I think he is starting to knock on that door, which is good news. Rob Chapman says, Gray and Barnes are terrific at the moment. I'd start Barnes, but I do think we should go in for someone like Zajcek in January. Well, we're not quite going to be talking about January's transfer window yet because it is a few weeks off. But if you have spotted any players out there you think Leicester should go for, put them in the comments. We can chat about them, but I think it's a little previous to get there. Again, my biggest thing at the moment is in January is we're still right in there. Wherever we are, I think we just need a bit of cover for Jamie Vardy. But maybe we already have cover for Jamie Vardy in the shape of Perez. I think that is the plan. I think Perez is the cover for Jamie Vardy. Lewis King is watching. Lewis, how are you watching? How are you doing, Lewis? Get your views and get your comments in. Tony Snow says Harvey will be like all Brighton where England is concerned. Not at a big enough club for the FA. Sadly, Tony, you could be right. Lewis King says Brighton won't be easy. Let's talk a little bit about Brighton. We've got about 7 minutes to go. As you all know, he says ducking down. We always give away some pizzas from our pals at Peter's Pizzas. Do it every game. You know the drill now. We need the first goal scorer at the correct final score. Get your comments in on those predictions for the last 5 minutes of tonight's show. Who do you think will score the first goal? I'll go for Jamie Vardy. What do you think the correct final score will be? I'm going to go for 2-0 to Leicester with Jamie Vardy to score the first one. Probably get the 2 actually, if I'm honest. So that's my prediction. Get yours in and you can be in for the pizza from our pals at Peter's Pizzas. Don't forget as well, we are giving away another pink shirt. Thanks to our pals at Pink Vehicle Leasing. We are giving away another Leicester City pink shirt. We've got a few of them over the next few weeks to give away, but we've got one, and all you have to do to enter to win this is go to the YouTube channel, Leicester Fan TV. Very easy. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everybody who has subscribed, who is subscribing, we're going to do the draw for this on November the 30th. We'll pick somebody, but you've got to be a subscriber on the YouTube channel. So if you're one of the Facebook people, go. There's another channel, YouTube, Leicester Fan TV. That's us. Go and subscribe and you could win that shirt. Mark Gatwood is saying the priority is a striker. What if Vardy gets injured? I agree with you. Pete Hides is watching. Hi Pete, how are you? Joanna's going back to Demarai Gray, saying Demarai Gray shouldn't be knocking on the door. He should have had a key 3 seasons ago. It's took till now and Rodgers to get the best out of him. Listen, Joanna, we've seen flashes of good from Demarai Gray, but I agree, not consistency. Lewis, we're getting a few score predictions coming in here. Jake Palmer saying 3-0 to Leicester against Brighton. Jake, who's going to score the first goal? That's what we need to know. Who is it going to be? Mark Gatwood has got it. He's going, Leicester are going to win 3-2 with Vardy. But Mark, you think somebody's going to score 2 goals against us? We've got the best defence in the league. Only scored 8 goals. Only let in 8 goals. So get those views in, get the comments in. Dave Felstead says 2-1 to Leicester with T. Elements. Cameron Brando saying if we get around 7 or more, we'll catch up to Liverpool if they're not playing down the league team. I don't know who Liverpool are playing this weekend. Lee Sutton saying, is that an Admiral shirt? My nan and dad worked for them years ago. Yes, it is. It's one of the old retro. I think this is a 1976 shirt, the old badge, the old Admiral. Pete Hyde saying 3-0 to Leicester with Vardy to score. Rob Chapman is saying, looks as though we're still interested in Alfredo Morales at Rangers. Bit of transfer gossip there. Thank you very much for that, Rob Chapman. Jake saying 3-0 to Leicester with Tielemans to score and Vardy too. Pete Hides is agreeing that my shirt is mid-70s. It's 1976, Pete. I'm 99% sure this is a 1976-77 shirt. Tony Snow is saying Leicester to win 3-1. Evans first goal. Has Johnny Evans has scored for Leicester before, hasn't he? Tony Snow, Evans first goal, maybe first goal of the season. I'm having to think now. Has Johnny Evans scored for Leicester? Somebody put in the comments, has Johnny Evans scored for Leicester or not? My stats are iffy to say the least. That's me thinking. I can't think if Johnny Evans has scored for Leicester. Paul Locke is saying Liverpool are playing Palace. Well, that'll be interesting, although we have obviously been to Palace this season and got all 3 points. Andy is saying, yeah, Liverpool. I like that, the Liverpool. Listen, the VAR thing, we actually haven't done too bad out of VAR this season. I believe I've seen some details on that if VAR had been not in this season, we actually would have been lower than where we are. So much as Liverpool seem to have really benefited from VAR, actually, Leicester haven't done too bad out of it either. Lewis King is saying he scored against Palace at home. That's Johnny Evans, I think you're talking about, Lewis. Just please confirm that if you can. Gareth Butley saying not sure Evans has scored. I'm trying to think. I vaguely think he has, but I can't remember. Jake Palmer saying the same. Thinks he has, but can't remember which game. James Moore saying yes, he has scored last season, but again can't remember against who. Lewis, if you're watching this, can you confirm Johnny Evans scored against Crystal Palace last season? We're all a bit blank. Perhaps it wasn't that memorable a goal. It was probably a header from 4 yards out, but mine's gone blank. Can't remember Johnny Evans scoring. Jake Palmer saying, I want to stay second end of the season and Vardy wins the Golden Boot. Jake, why do you want to finish second? Why do you want to finish second? Jake Palmer, we want to finish first. Lewis King, here we go. What a way to start to end the show. Johnny Evans did score. It was a 4-1 game at Leicester last. You'll remember it when I tell you what it is. Johnny Evans scored in a 4-1 defeat at home. It was the day Claude Puel got the sack. Can we not do a week when we don't have to mention Claude Puel's? If you've got anything that's gone wrong this week, don't forget you can put it in the comments. We can blame Claude Puel. It's how we tend to end up on most Monday night Fanzone shows. If anything's gone wrong in your life, in your day, we blame Claude Puel. I tell you what, I don't live far from Cornham, Mount Sorrel and Rothley, all that. Those floods, Claude Puel's fault. Of course it's Claude Puel's fault the floods are. Honestly. Anyway, Lee Sutton is just laughing because we're even talking about Claude Puel. It's nice that we can talk about it. It's a fresh air that Brendan Rodgers has been so much of a revelation in a way. Jake Palmer saying Puel, who is he, lol? He's just the guy we blame now. He's just the game we blame. Thank you very much, Lewis, for telling us when Johnny Evans did score. So he has scored one goal and he could very much be there. Right. Let me see. It is exactly 8 o'clock, which is pretty much time for me to wrap up. I want to say, as ever, thank you to all the guys behind us who helped make Leicester Fan TV come together. We have ADT Taxis, we have Emergency Glazing Services, we have Pink Vehicle Leasing, Everard's, we have Peter's Pizzas, we have Hologram, we have the Fox's Arms, and we have Harlow Geek Life. Go and follow all those people. And we're pleased to support as well Bodie Hodges, that's our charity at the moment. We are helping get them their name out there just as much as ever. Last couple of comments before we go. Neil Proctor saying, I really need a City win because I live down here in Eastbourne and I need my bragging rights. Already kept the Croydon Palace boys hushed up. Now for this lot. Lol. Come on, you Blues. Paul saying thanks for a good show. Thank you, Paul. This show is nothing without all your comments. So thank you, Paul. Thank you, Joanna Astley. Thanks, Jake Palmer. Thanks, Ian Looms. I'm not reading that comment out, Ian, but very funny. Tony Snow, thank you for your comments. As ever, I'm going to read out a few more thank yous. Ian Looms, Lewis King, James Moore, Dave Felsted, Gareth Buckley, Paul Spilling, Andy Medhurst, Pete Hides, Baz Short, Mark Gatwood, Tony Snow, Terry Fuller, Pete Hides, Dave Philander, all you guys. I'm sorry if I didn't give everybody a little name shout out there at the end. Thank you for that. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video. And I want to know, where's Aggie Frith and Scooby Baz this week? If you're watching this on the playback, guys, where were you? And yes, Craig Jones is right. Everybody say, night night, Auntie Karen. Happy birthday, Auntie Karen. You made the show. Well done. Thanks, Mark Gatwood. Thanks, Craig Jones. Thanks for all your comments. See you soon. Thanks, Chris Ward. Good evening. See you at the match this weekend. And don't forget, look on YouTube to win that pink shirt and watch our new tactics show that will be up there live tomorrow. Goodbye.